Welcome. This is my second time trying this. My computer didn't want me to do it, so now I'm on my phone. So we'll see if it just ended the broadcast before without me even asking for it to do it. So I'm back. And just in case you're just watching this for the first time, my name is Donnell, and I work in soul-led leadership, mentorship. And I've been an oracle and a multidimensional healer for years. And I am here with this report, the Soulcast, to essentially help you to navigate, hi Rochelle, to navigate each month. And I've been doing this for years, and I don't read any other reports that anybody, any other channels or anybody else does, because I really want a clean filter for myself and to be super neutral. So this is just coming, straight from my channel of what's going to be, what to anticipate. So because this is the second time starting this, I already had pulled a card for February. So I'm going to just start right away with that. The card is emotional loss. And what I was saying basically with this card, and you may think, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to feel any loss around anything. This card is about making room in your heart. One of the things that I'm hearing right away when I tune into this card is the energy of living with an open heart versus a defended heart. If you've been following my reports, back in December, I said that we were going to have some major letting go, maybe some clearing of some karma, some ancestral energy, all that kind of stuff. So now here we are, January, we were finishing up all these retrogrades, and the energy's been it was moving slow, right? Now that it's February and there's no retrogrades in sight till April, till April 20th or 21st. We have this incredible opportunity to take action. But this is the key, because this is a 5 card, and it's all about change, and it's change from the heart. So if you want to take action, this is where you get to really get super mindful and ninja, okay? Think about the changes you've made since December. The identity that you've been adopting, shifting into, the things that you've been working on, whatever area of your life, right? And for me, February being the second month of the year, we have this choice point. It's whenever I see the number 2, it's we have to choose between one thing or another. And essentially what we're choosing between is, are we willing to really become and operate from the person that we are wanting to be, that we've been working towards? Everybody should be working towards some, more higher aligned version of themselves, okay? Or are you going to go back to what's comfortable? Because what we're being asked to right now on the planet is, there's this I was saying this before, is it's almost like a river that's got such a whoosh of, strong, forceful energy. It's taking us. And if you're not clear to where you're being taken to, you may end up somewhere and be like, how did I get here? What happened? And this year, it's a 7 year, so it's about being very mindful and quiet and going within. So the opportunity with this specific card is to continue to let go of the behavioral patterns that keep you ruminating and addicted to the past. And it requires mindfulness, because it's so easy. I was faced with this very week. I was doing so much healing work around a specific area of my life. And just like I do all the time, I get, the universe is like, are you sure that you've got that? And it gave me this beautiful invitation to choose between going back to my old conditioned thinking, feeling, actions, or to align with my future self. And it may take a little bit of meditation. It may take a little bit of contemplation to figure out how that future version of you would operate. But this month is going to be a month, there's a lot of things I'm hearing about this month, but one of them is there's an opportunity, if you go into stillness and presence, to receive so much to prepare you for the months ahead. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's kind of like just giving you this ample opportunity in the quietude to just really get clear of those last little kind of tendrils of energy that have been tethering you to the past. So this card, emotional loss, is about letting go. And if you think about, if I really tune into this with the emotional body, it's interesting because it feels a lot about like, I still get the energy of like comfort. It's like, what do we feel comfortable with? And are we willing to it reminds me of a little baby and it's Binky. Are we willing to let go of the baby Binky? Like, are you ready to walk? Like, I keep seeing, they always show me like babies, because babies are I love watching when a baby first gets up to walk, and it's like, okay, and I've said this before in other lives where it's like the baby falls, the baby gets back up. But in this one in particular, this is about if you're moving towards something, you don't just give up. Like you don't go back to your old pattern, and you just, it's an opportunity to let go. Okay, so that's what the month is going to be. Let's see kind of how that's going to play out. There's a little bit of tenderness to this. What I will say about this is that we are in Aquarius and we're going to be going into Pisces, right? And there is that feeling of looking at like relationships and relationship to self, but mainly I see like your friend groups, to those who support you, and really just kind of let it, like, this isn't like you have to clean house and get rid of all your friends or whatever, but just feels like we're looking at the tenderness of our heart and who are the people, this feels like a really good thing, like who are the people that really support you and help you be the best version of yourself, and focusing on that and letting the rest go. Not the get rid of all the other people. No, it's not that, but it's just this energy of like, stop focusing on the stuff that doesn't matter. Like if I had to simply put the February, like as far as the tone, like stop letting go of the things that don't matter. Focus on the bigger picture. And enjoy and celebrate the people that really bring you a lot of happiness. Okay, so then I'm going to pull the card for yesterday, which was the first, which will take us through the rest of this week. And then we'll start seeing kind of the storyline, because that's how I had this idea today. I was like, I'm going to pull all the cards before, but then I was like, well, no, because part of it is you guys get to see, I'm like literally pulling the cards and channeling it on the spot. But I was like, I kind of want to see the storyline, but I decided to be patient and just, I love this. I'm going to close my computer. It's right there. This is the material and spiritual prosperity card, just in case you can't see it. What is working in your life? This is actually just a continuation of what I was just saying. This card in particular, I love it because he's looking out. It's a 6 card, so it's all about harmony. What is in harmony in your life? Where are you in prosperity? When you're connected to your heart, when you are in the energy of gratitude, you start to see, even though certain things might not be working out, as we all have those areas, right? That you are divinely supported and cared for. And although the thing that you want hasn't maybe fully showed up in, in its full glory, I'll say it like that, in its full glory, there are some things that are working out for you this week. There's some prosperity feelings. There's some really great energy. It's like, okay, today's actually, let me just double check it. But today being the 2nd, yeah, it's a power day, the 2-2. So this is a day, even going into today, and then we go into, I want to give you a little astrology, that tomorrow is the halfway between the solstice and the equinox. Okay, so we get this opportunity to reassess our path, right? And then we have a full moon, which is releasing and renewing the past 6 months, because it's since the Leo new moon, which was back, I think, in August. So it goes with what I was saying just a second ago about letting go. Leo full moon has to do with the energy of the heart, coeur. That's, I think I'm saying that correctly, but that's courage, right? It's like the root of the word. It's French, coeur is your heart. Leading from your heart. If you're going to lead from your heart, you have to know your gifts. You have to know that you have an amplitude of, I have a whole program that I used to do called Rich Soul, that you are a rich soul. That if you're only focusing on the external reality, because this is material and spiritual prosperity, if you're only focusing on what's happening outside of you and still looking for validation that everything's going to be okay, that things are working out, you are slowing down your ability to manifest. The reason is because manifestation is when you have gratitude and you believe in your heart that the things that you desire are already coming to you. You're not looking to see, like, if you know, go online to like post something and like, do people like what I'm saying? Are they gonna do this? You know, that's as much as, you know, humans crave that. If your job is to be a leader and get out there and share your gifts, the right people will find you and resonate with your message. And the only way that you're going to feel good is if you are aligned with the courage of your heart and already practicing gratitude for the things that are going right. I have had to really have a gratitude practice in my meditation. I try and go to bed most times after I meditate and think about all the goodness of my life, because you know, if things are challenging for you in a specific area or multiple areas of your life, I've talked about this a lot of times in different lives, having prosperity is not about necessarily what's happening outside of you. It's your prosperity consciousness. That actually, if you feel in alignment with source energy and that you are a prosperous being, if you stayed in that every single day and took aligned action, your reality would shift to show you how prosperous you are, whether it's in your relationships, your money, your job, whatever it may be. So this card, coupled with the theme of February, is to let go of the ways that you are still in lack and scarcity. Let go of the poverty consciousness that you are still operating from, that is still giving you evidence in your reality. Because if you're thinking that way, it's going to show up in your external. So this card is asking, and I love this card because he's looking out at all the good things he has. He's like, you know, like, oh, look at my life. This is so great. How many times do you do that? For some of you, it's a daily practice. For some of you, you might be stuck right now, and it's about coming back to that deeper connection with yourself. And I just want to see if there's anything. They're saying to me it's really important right now to have patience, because the energy is starting to move faster. You may feel a little bit pulled in different directions and like, do I go this way or do I go that way? And they're saying slow down, and that's where the stillness is really important. So you could find the direction that the universe is pulling you in right now, because that's where I was saying with that like forceful water, it wants to take you places. And the easiest way to know which place it wants to take you in is where things are really working out. Like when you're showing up and you're in your excitement and things really work out, that's the direction that you know that you're like literally being gravitationally pulled towards. So pay attention to that, because that's really important. But when you have an amplitude of choices, or ample choices to choose from, they're really saying, what's the priority that you have for where you're going? Because this energy that is stepping in this month and next month is going to be massive changes, like in a good way, but it's going to be massive shifts and changes. So this is the month it's almost like you're setting the tone for everything and in your reality, and you have this opportunity to kind of like January was a slow start. So this is let's like revisit, like, what do I want? What would bring me material and spiritual prosperity in my life? What would fill me up? And they're saying, be patient, calculating. That's what they're saying. Be calculated. That's why that card, letting go. You got to let go of some of your behaviors. You can't have it. You can't be wanting to go in one direction and take all your bad habits with you or baggage. So that's the energy of like, if celebrate the prosperity that comes to you this week. Maybe for some of you, you'll actually get like some beautiful gifts coming your way that you are desiring. Celebrate that and make a plan for what is going to feel prosperous to you, and make sure that your energetic alignment is that of prosperity consciousness, not poverty consciousness. Okay. And I don't mean poverty in the way that you're poor. But if you have poor energetics, if you're sitting there and all you do, I meet people sometimes that all they do is they're looking. I don't really know that many people anymore like this because I don't hang out with them, but if they're just focused on all the things that are going wrong, well, that's not good for their frequency, right? Even when stuff is going wrong. It's like a divine assignment. I did a reel about this yesterday. I'm just going to reiterate this because for your prosperity, if you have something in your current reality that is challenging, but yet you're moving towards something, like let's say you say, I want to go to the next level in whatever area, and you have something that's hard in your life right now, consider that the actual assignment to give you the energetic capacity to hold the thing that you've been asking for. Because so much of this human journey is about the becoming. Once we get to the destination and we have the thing that we want, we've already probably shifted. By the time we get to that thing, and sometimes it can be very rapid, but by the time you get to that thing, you're like, you've already changed. It's in the journey. It's in the thing that's asking you to pay attention and handle it and deal with it and be with it so that you can change inside, so that you can actually hold and sustain the prosperity that you're looking for. So just remember that. And that's the letting go. Let go of the behaviors and the things that are keeping you from wanting to deal with some of the things that are right in front of you. Okay. Let me just write this down and then I'm gonna. Okay. And let's see. So for the 6th, for next week, let's see. And with the full moon in Leo, I know there's a lot of energy with it. I'm not going to go specifically into the astrology, but Leo is the sign that's about being vocal and out there and bold with your gifts and not being afraid to have the courage to speak up and do all the things. So it might be a little bit of a review of like, am I doing that? The full moons always illuminate things for you. It illuminates the parts of you that are still in resistance to where you want to go. Okay, so the 6th, the throat chakra. So let me just write that down and then let me just see what that's all about. Interestingly enough, when I pull this card and I look at it from that perspective of coming from a full moon and all that energetics of Leo, first of all, they're talking to me about how you describe your reality. And the way that you are creating it through what you think is possible. And so I love it this week because you get to have your life be living art. That's interesting. And if your gifts and who you are, if you see it as play and expression, then it becomes art, right? So many of us take ourselves so seriously, depending on what you do for a living, depending on are you playing a high stakes game in your life or not? I have no idea. I am. and I say that in the best way, but like, I'm one of those people that like, I go for what I want. Like, I'm not afraid to like go for the very thing that my heart desires. But when you play a high stakes game, it's really important how you speak about it, how you express yourself, the languaging that you're using to describe your reality, and the art that you let your life be. Because something that is really interesting about the throat chakra is it is, you know, how we express ourselves to the world. It's how I always see it as like the divine architecture and blueprint for how we're creating our reality, because so much of what we say creates it, right? And this is the energy of being in the arena. This is the energy of, if you say you want to do something, are you actually showing up and doing it? Are you expressing that? Or are you still hiding behind closed doors, expecting everybody to like find you somehow? Or no, I love when women tell me they want to start dating, and I'm like, oh, so are you like on a dating app, or are you going out or joining a walking club, or what are you doing? And they're always like, no, I'm just hoping that like one day I'll be out like at the grocery store and I'll meet him. And I'm it always cracks me up. I'm like, good luck with that. Because it's not to say you have to be on a dating app, but if you want something to happen, if you want to show up more in your life, right, you gotta take action. So this, I don't know why, but when I see this is about being like, get in the arena, start doing the things that you've been saying. This is about congruency as well. They're saying, like, Spirit is saying to me, you know, are you just talking a big game, or are you actually laying the foundation for the very things that you want? Are you saying you're going to work out, but you actually don't go do it? You know, you want this healthy, hot body, but you don't go take care of yourself and go to the gym or do anything for it? So this is the week that they're saying, like, no more. Like, this is like, be clear with what your expression, your intentionality towards what you want, and get in the arena of your life. There's something about building, you know, yourself up and having the courage to do the things that you want to do. I love this energy. It feels really, it feels for some of you too that it might be, I don't know why, but they're showing me like your written, you know, thinking of art, like your written word, like how you express yourself through speaking, through written word, getting it out there, getting your, you know, thinking about your gifts and making sure that they're being put into the world. This also goes back to what I was saying earlier about your people that you're surrounding yourself with, the collaborations, the friendships, and all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting to me because they're talking about vibrational resonance and how important it is when you are moving towards being a higher version of yourself. I'm really careful how I'm saying this, because I have two sides of how I see certain things about when it comes to energetics. One, I believe we are wildly powerful beings, and that we don't have to worry necessarily about who we're around if we're able to like cleanse our energy fields and know how to take care of ourselves. I also know that there is so much truth to the 5 people that you surround yourself with, or the people that you're going to most emulate, the ones that you're going to take the most characteristics from, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's interesting with this because, you know, I was saying earlier with your friendships about being around the people that really support you in your dreams. And this is also with the throat chakra about finding your community. And I don't say that lightly. For some reason, they're very clear about this. Like, find your people, find your community, find the like-minded souls. Whether you're the one that's starting the community or you're going to be a part of, like, you know, you just want to be a part of one. It's really important to find your community, because I'm going to get a little woo. There's a lot of density dropping energetically. And there's a lot of separation right now, and some people are very much in the new energetic where they're like operating in their light body a little bit lighter than they used to. because they're moving through things, and manifestation is going to be a lot easier, by the way. I don't know if some of you have noticed that, but it's like really quick. But for others, they're still in their trauma, they're still in their heaviness, and it's starting to like, it's almost like it shows in how they speak and describe their reality and how they're like doing things. And you can have difficulty and challenges and all of that, and not necessarily be heavy. Have you noticed that? Like, you don't have to be, like, you can still have difficulties, but see it from a point of view where you have an understanding and you're not resisting it. Like you're working with it, right? Or there's the people that are like so in the victim energy and mentality. And right now there's a little bit of like I want to call it a divide, but there's a little bit of like energy where it will be supportive to you to find your people that you can have energetic vibrational resonance to forward you along, to support you, all that kind of stuff. Because that part of this, like it's kind of like it'll take you where you need to go faster. So the community aspect, probably because we're in Aquarius too, is so important. They're saying with your throat chakra, it's like all the people that you're hanging out with. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much more into that. That's just like, that's all the different things for the 6th. Okay, so let me look at the 13th. See how long I've been doing this for. I always want to make sure I don't go too long. Okay, so the 13th that week. That's the week of Valentine's. How fun. Oh, I love this card. I'm gonna make sure I didn't forget anything. By the way, the 7th, the post shadow of Mercury retrograde ends. So all that cycle, I mean, even though Mercury retrograde is done, we're still wrapping it up energetically. So the 7th, it's fully done. And then the 14th, the post shadow of the Jupiter retrograde ends. Okay, so this is going to be for the week of the 13th, Valentine's, all that stuff. We get this pretty fun, like, beautiful card. Oh, I want to say one last thing. I can't believe I forgot to say this about the throat chakra. Communication. Duh. You know, I'm talking about all these other things. I'm always channeling all this stuff, but communication, they just showed me something really quick. It's so important that you're communicating from your heart. And that's how you'll know who you resonate with, because you can either be fully yourself or you can't be. So if you're trying to communicate with people and you find yourself like completely like lost and like they don't get me, it's okay. They don't need to get you. It goes back to what I was saying earlier that I didn't finish my thought, is that you can be around people that don't get you and you're not going to get like their energetic cooties or something. But if you're going to be growing, think about the people that inspire you, that help you to become a better version of you. That's what you want. And when you're communicating, I said be intentional with what you're saying about yourself and what the reality you're creating. But even when you're around others, I want you to make sure you can communicate from your heart. There is a big theme, and that's the week of the 6th, about communicating from your heart. And if there is an area that you can't, take note of it, okay? Because that might be part of your letting go. Okay, now, fully light. I love this card. This card is, you know, it's joyful. I mean, you can see she's in that vibe. She's happy. She's feeling good. And so let me kind of tune into, and if God, we need to be in the sun and the joy. I get playful energy. I feel fun. I feel momentum. You know, if you're spending this week being grateful, if the following, you know, that next week is all about communication and being around like-minded people and being really intentional about your reality, it really makes sense that this is a week that we're having fun and we're playing in that energy. And they're calling it like desire and pleasure energy. The more that you say yes to your desires, the more your soul lights up, the more that you allow yourself to have pleasure. And you may find for some of you, pleasure's looking a little bit different these days. And I say that, I'm just going to say, because I did dry January. It was really, ironically, very easy for me. I was kind of shocked. But what I found so pleasurable is how in touch and in tune I was all month. And this week, like this card is the Sun card. So sometimes it has to do with your inner child and, the fun. Like, what was the stuff that when you were a child that you used to do that you really loved that was just, it playing, and restoration of the heart. That's what this week is all about. Restoration of the heart, rebuilding up and fortifying through joy and pleasure. And so I want you to look at your relationship to pleasure this week and think about, what is bringing me pleasure? Are you having hot, juicy sex? I hope so. Do you have a pleasure practice if you're single? Are you, if you're into exercise, are you riding bikes? Are you going out into nature? What are you doing that brings you pleasure? This is a week to really make it a priority and to have fun and to reconnect with some lightness. Because the lightness and the levity within that we feel when we're connected to ourselves brings us so much. It really does. It's like manifesting, right? It's like, oh my God, I know, I don't know about you guys, but when I am having fun, like if I go out with my boyfriend and we're out doing something, or I'm out with my kids and I'm just in this energy of joy and play, I magnetize so much towards my life. Versus if I'm sitting at my desk, like cranking away, hoping somebody will get back to me or this will go down or whatever. So this is about, interestingly enough, they're saying divine feminine principle of receiving an embodiment this week, and divine energy of intuition and trusting and refining your internal compass about where you're going. And it's all based on joy and pleasure. Like, life has been really heavy. There's been a lot of difficulties for a lot of people. I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis that are, have something, some part of their life that they're struggling with. And this is a week to have some fun. Doesn't mean that there won't be anything else going on, but overall, fun. So make that a priority. I want to see if there's anything else. I don't know why I keep getting this energy. I keep getting a very sexual energy for this week. And I don't mean to say that in a crass way. I'm just saying that there's a feeling that whether you're single or with somebody, I should say it like this. Whether you're with a partner or without one, if you don't have anybody in your life, this is about sex magic, if you will, in a sense that you don't have to be having sex. It's just the energy that is generated when we live through our sensuality in our physical body. So much of the spiritual community is up here. They think they're down here, but they're a lot up here. Because I know, I used to be like that. I used to, I was always channeling and these spiritual things. And yeah, but the most spiritual journey you can have is in your physical body, is when you bring your spirit into full alignment within your form. And sexual energy, I can say sexual or sensual energy is when you have a love affair with life, when you're enjoying your meal, when you're having fun with you're having fun with your kid, because you're, playing with them. And I don't mean like, that's not the sexual, but the sensual energy of life is that playing energy. It's just the fun. And so wherever, like if you're eating ice cream, that can be sensual. Like whatever it is, like find the way. Hope that didn't sound inappropriate that I went from sexual to sensual. But with my kids, I know for me, when I'm with them, I'm in my body. Not in a section, that's not what I was saying. But sensually speaking, I'm in my body because, we're hanging out, we're playing games, we're being silly, so employ more of that energy towards the things that you really desire. And if you practice that, more pleasure, more play, they're showing me that your healing a lot that week. And when I say healing, it's just like coming home to yourself. I also see that your vortex of energy gets bigger. So like any project or thing that you're working on or anything that you want to influence or impact, your energy field gets bigger when you're in this fun, light energy. Some of you, it's about recognition. You're going to like, things are going to go your way. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm on fire this week and things are just happening for me. And this feels so damn good. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. Okay, so let me go to the 20th. It's like so, it's so hard when you're channeling because you're seeing all these things and you're trying to like make it succinct and all this stuff. And I'm trying to talk about pleasure and this and then jumping topics. And so excuse me for that. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so the 20th, let's see. I like where all the energy's going this week. It feels really good. I mean, this month, I should say. Okay, so the 20th, we get this card called Memories of Love. This card is interesting because it's all about, well, first of all, we have a new moon. I think it's on the 19th. And it's going to be in Pisces. It's a Pisces new moon. So, and then we also are going to have an Aries stellium right after that, where the moon, Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron are all going to be in Aries. That's cosmically helping you to take action on very long-held plans. So that's going to be all in that same week. That is a big week. So new moon, Pisces, collective energy, and then you have some Aries fun thrown in there, and Aries is all about taking action. So when it comes to this card, it's very similar to the other card that we got for the month of February. It's a 6 card. It's all about harmony, but when you get Memories of Love, it's about letting go of the past. This is just such a simple thing of, if you're still holding on to the past in certain ways. So what they're saying, what I'm hearing is that because things are going to shift so rapidly and things are going to be changing, things are changing in our collective, with technology and just all sorts of stuff. I'm sure you've seen like all the AI stuff. It's very interesting what's happening right now, but it's like if you're still trying to do things the same way that you used to do it, as I said this earlier, it's like it just doesn't work. So the card for February is about emotional loss, and I was saying it was about letting go. And this card is kind of in the same energies. It's about your heart, but this is about the past. And it's good and bad. Like the past holds so much, and the past is amazing because it's a great reference tool. It really, really, really is. The good thing is about when you remember the things that really worked for you, and maybe you're like, oh, that worked, I want to like try that again or whatever. But with this energy specifically, it's kind of like they're saying to me, if you hold on to the past too much, you're going to be left behind, because come March, like things are just changing so quickly. And they're like saying, don't hold on to plans too much. Have a little bit of fluidity to the way that you're seeing your life. The formless becomes form quickly when you don't hold on to things. Don't have a lot of attachment. Be emptied out, which is really hard for humans. So what I mean by that, let me explain, because I was channeling. To be emptied out means that you are not holding, like think of that, if you have a bucket full of all your emotions, right, that are attached to something, and you were to carry that bucket around with you everywhere, it's a lot. It really is. So you might have a story that shows up this particular week that is tied into your past. It's come around again. And you have an opportunity to do it very differently. So this is like the theme of the month comes very specific this week. And I'm going to invite you. This is not me, Spirit saying, don't be attached to the way things used to be. Like, let yourself really, like, even if you don't know where you're going with something, this is a week of surrender, of like, I trust the higher divine plan that is moving through my life. I trust that I am so held and supported that I can have so much fun being here right now. And if you're able to do that, they're saying like you'll experience many miracles, like so many, like you'll feel such a sense of resolution, maybe about something that in the past used to trouble you so much. You may be like, oh my God, I got to reframe on that thing. Like that thing doesn't affect me the same anymore because I actually made space and room to let go of the way it had to be. And they're using the words judgment and control. This is like about letting go of the judgment and the way that you've created this story or belief to manipulate and control your reality. And if you can let it go, oh my God, it feels like you have so much freedom. There's so much. And I don't know why, but they're saying the weeks before it lead, perfectly right up to this, as it always does. And so you don't have to overthink it. When this week comes, you'll just know whatever that thing is that you need to kind of empty your bucket. Empty your bucket. Practice non-attachment. Surrender, because you are being so lovingly held. And they're showing me that, oh my God, I don't know why there's such a tall order, but they're saying resist nothing. Don't resist it. I'm not talking about if somebody's being abusive or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in your day-to-day reality. Try not to be in resistance. Try to just see everything as like, okay, this is happening. What am I supposed to do with this? Because in that, you'll see the new redirection that you're going to be going in. Because this is like, they're showing me like a line in the sand of like the past of how you were doing things, and then the new way. And it's through your presence and through emptying out your emotional bucket on this one. And for some of you, you need to hear this part, is that you think that the past was better, but it wasn't. You may think that the past was easier for you. It's not. Like they're so like kind of like clear on this one of like a lot of people romanticize the past because maybe they think it was easier in different times. It was different times, but you're not the same person, and hopefully you've evolved, and whatever's happening for you right now is happening because you get this opportunity to be the version of you that you want to be. They're saying this is not happening because there's any punishment or difficulty or anything like that. And I'm not even saying it's going to be a tough week. I'm just saying that if you are romanticizing the past in a specific area of your life that keeps showing up over and over and over again, like the lesson keeps coming and coming, and you keep going back to the old operating system, you will feel like you're suffering. You will. Because the invitation Spirit is giving is like, hey, get on this train already and get moving forward. You're meant to evolve. If you stay there, you're not going to evolve, and you're creating suffering when life is meant to be so much easier and expansive. This is about expansion. This is trusting that you can grow through ease and joy versus all the difficulties. It's like funny because people are like, well, they go backwards. It's like, no. We're not meant to go backwards unless we're rewriting the story and the meaning of the story that we have to the past. So this is a clean slate week. This is erase the expectations. Like, this is a week to just be really open and fluid. I wonder why, but we'll see. And then we have the 27th and 28th. The 27th is a holiday in my household. It is my daughter's birthday, Maddie Rose, who is going to be 10 years old. Some of you have known me and worked with me for years. And I know everybody says your kids grow up so fast, but oh my God, I cannot believe my daughter's going to be 10. I started, you know why it's so important to me too, is because I started my business the year that she was born. And so my entrepreneurial business, God, it's so hard to believe that. I guess this August it'll be 10 years. So that's how I always know, because of her birthday. Oh my Lord. When I had her, I was like, I'm not going to work anymore in corporate. I'm going to hang out with my girl. I never looked back. Okay. So last but not least, we get the wisdom card. So this feels really good because once again, we're being geared towards the right groups and people that are going to support our growth. Once again, this is about beliefs. And if you've already been in the work of like emptying out your bucket, you're going to be fresh for the downloads. They're going to just come right in, because that's downloads and directives from Spirit, God, Jesus, whoever you know are connected to, can't come in when you think you know everything and you've got the answers and you are in control and you're doing your whole reality, not God, right? When you operate from that, what is that, like, you know, it's like edging God out, right? Because we're so afraid. When we do that, it stunts our growth, right? So this month, these 2 days, these special 2 little days of this are really about, still finding your communities, finding that teacher. It's really important. If you're going to be in relationship to life and you want to fast track, you have to surround yourself with the teachers that are already where you want to be. You don't go do it any other way. I'm not even going to give an example because you know what I'm talking about. So this is a week, these couple days, where you may find a teacher or an organization or group that can support your growth. And you'll be wrapping up the month, with any last minute, you might be like looking at your belief systems and still kind of like really open and ready to receive the directives for, what's going on in your life. And I love that because I used to, because I do, channeling for a living, I used to want to know things from my head, like mentally. So when I channel, I just like let things drop in. But when it comes to and it's easy to do that when it's for other people, but when it comes to my own stuff, my own life, I listen to my body. And boy, oh boy, the more I have done that, my body gives me so many directives. It's like, it shows me through my discomfort, through my sadness, through my joy, like so much of what's going on. And I'm not talking about like just being on an emotional roller coaster. I'm talking about the wisdom of embodiment. And I feel like this last, little portion right here is about embodiment and integration. I'm telling you, if you're going through life and you're just like fast, you're not going to be integrating. So this week when the downloads come in, ask yourself, like, how can I integrate this? One fun practice I've been doing, I'm sorry about these lights. One practice I've been doing before bed is asking a question for something that I want to have clarity on. I've been doing it, it's part of futuring that I teach, but anytime you ask a question of the universe, you will receive answers. And like I said earlier, things are manifesting very quickly. Hence the fact that this month there's always a daily opportunity to let go, right? But there's a couple weeks in this month where we're given opportunities to kind of revisit our beliefs and let go of some things, to empty out a little bit more. But it's because things are happening very quickly right now. And with the shifts that are going to be happening, especially next month in March, you want to be able to hear yourself. You want to be able to work with the wisdom of your body and the universe. So I highly encourage you to ask some questions. If there's something that you're stuck on or there's something that you want to know, just go to bed and say, Divine God, I want to know what's happening in this area of my life. I'm really confused. I don't understand. Could you give me some information? Whether it comes through in your dream state or conversations the next day, it will come. It always does. And I find that is how I'm constantly in communication with the divine. Like this card is the student becomes the teacher, the teacher becomes a student, right? The Hierophant. And I'm always a student. I'm always learning. Although I teach other people, I'm always in this space of like, God, show me. Show me why this is so difficult right now. And a lot of times it's because I'm in resistance to what's happening. So when we drop that resistance and when we just become a student of our lives, so many people are like, I don't understand what's happening or what I'm supposed to work on or what's going on. And it's like, it's right in front of your face. It's never far. The area that troubles you the most in your life is your divine assignment right now. When you stop resisting that assignment and really just say, God, please help me, show me what I need to know about this or need to do in this case so that I don't keep repeating this, you will be given support. And sometimes you need more support. That's why people come and work with somebody like myself, because I am able to decipher the energy and see the pattern so clearly. That's what I'm, my channeling abilities allow me to do. So anyways, this month feels really good, feels pretty quiet, feels like it's, just fun stuff we're working on. I don't feel like there none of these cards were, anything major. And so enjoy this month, enjoy that we're in this 7 year and that we have an opportunity to get mystical AF. I want to say a bad word right now. I really do. Because, when we go into Pisces energy, Aquarius is the sign of the future. Pisces is like the end of the archetypal astrological wheel. And there's so much wisdom to be gained. So much. And so if you slow down enough to be in that space, to be receiving the mystical information that life wants to bring you, it makes it really fun. So enjoy 2 ways that I can support you even further. If you are somebody that's like, I want to develop my intuition more, I have a hard time, I get stuck, I don't know if it's my intuition or my monkey mind, I want to be more creative, I want to be able to see my future self, I want to be able to start to know how to interact with people better based on my intuition, I want to know what my next step is in my life, and I don't want to keep relying on other people to get it, then I have a class called The Compass, which is an intuitive mastermind. It's 2 hours. I'm going to give you all the tools that I have used and worked on over all these years of being an entrepreneur. And I am so excited to share this with you. And I'm also going to be providing a hypno healing, which is an activation that is going to support you in really opening up your third eye and your intuition. So that right now is $222. If you're interested, message me, or I'm going to put the link here. And then I also am going to have a free mini course the 3rd week of February, the 21st to the 23rd. That is going to be all about love and relationship to yourself, so you can have a better relationship with your partner or anybody for that matter. So that is going to be really fun. So if you're interested in being in that free group and receiving the free course, then I will also put that in the comments as well, or you can message me. Have a beautiful, beautiful February. Enjoy the quiet, enjoy the time to go within, and yeah, it feels really good. Okay, see you soon.